Hey everybody, this is Samuel in the SDCS weekly review for the full stack JavaScript program. I am very happy to report I'm actually on the very last project of the React 200 series, which happens to also be the very last project of the core curriculum before I begin a group project and then a final project. Um, Pretty crazy. I never thought I would get to this point. To be here at this moment feels a little bit surreal just because at the beginning, I truly just it just felt like there was this huge mountain to climb, and I'm very happy to say that I'm here, at the sort of at the top. I haven't quite made it to the peak yet. Still got some work to do, but I think I've gotten through the cliffhangers, the difficult stuff. So I'm pretty excited to say that I've made it mostly through the program, at least the core curriculum, anyways. Next steps will be getting a job, and can't wait to report back here about that. But yeah, excited to reflect and think about where I'm at this point, which is the very last project. So yeah, with that said, what was some challenges that I faced this past week, sort of before I got here, and that was probably related to still this last project. It was installing Redux properly. Um, so as I mentioned last week, I really like Redux a lot. I think it's a lot more accessible than managing your state in a normal React app is. It makes things a lot more predictable, makes things a lot more visual, so you can really see um, how your code is truly working when you're trying to um, set your state and access it and so forth. So I really like it a lot. But along with that, there is um, sort of an installation process that takes a little bit of time to wire up, and if you don't wire that up, of course it's not going to wire up that uh, Redux properly. It's of course not going to work correctly. So that was a bit difficult this week. I had a situation where I wasn't essentially what it came down to importing one of my components with the correct file path. Um, and that was due to not understanding fully where um, a my Redux Connect function um, was sort of working from. So I essentially just had the incorrect file path because I thought I was supposed to utilize this connect function for a different file than it ended up being. So once I worked past that, I was obviously able to solve it, but it was definitely difficult to figure that out. And the way that I did that was just doing the normal troubleshooting, doing the best I could as far as like trying to figure out what was going on, um, and sort of establishing like, yeah, I definitely can't access my state in the way that I'm expecting, and so this would probably be a good time to push up my code to GitHub and ask my coach if he sees anywhere where there might be a reason why I'm not being able to do so. And he was pretty quickly able to point out to me that I didn't have the correct pathway on a particular file. And once that was established, it worked like a charm. So, um, yeah, I would say then if I had any advice for this project, it would just be pay careful attention when you are wiring things up. I'll say the same thing I did last week because it remained the same on this project. The very first Redux project that you do, the budget, um, I believe it's a budgeting project. That is like such an excellent blueprint for both the weather project as well as the um, uh, movie finder project. I think if you kind of use that as sort of a template, you'll obviously have to make some changes, but it'll give you a wonderful model to work with. And so I would, uh, as advice, would say really take a look at that budget project again and sort of see how things are organized on that one and apply it in the same way um, in the other projects, the weather project and the movie finder project, which I'm on now. So yeah, after this project, I believe I have a group project and then a final project. and then it'll be career services and starting to look for a job. So really excited to report back when I begin those. Those will be interesting. It'll be nice to start collaborating with other people, working on a project with other people who are coding and communicating and sharing code will be an interesting experience. Haven't done that yet, so look forward to that. And then as well as obviously, we'll really look forward to doing some career preparation. So I'll report on that as it comes along. But until then, see you next week. Thanks.